Welcome
No.
back to the Hood News Fantasy Football Podcast. This is your host, Keem. We got Starts and Sits of the Week, episode 45. I got my boys with me, MFB
Yes, sir. We back.
and BBTB.
We're here with it.
Yep. Let's go ahead and jump into it. This is Starts and Sits of the Week. Last week, we tried it out. We're doing it again. So if you guys like our Starts and Sits from last week, then, listen in because we had some hits, we had some fails, but you guys can go check out that other episode and see for yourself. I'll go ahead and get us started. QB start of the week. Daniel Jones. They're playing against Carolina. Carolina is one of the better matchups for QBs. I just think that eventually Daniel Jones has to get going. He's got neighbors, and that offense has to move. It's going to go through him. Slayton's there as well. He's been producing. Overall, this is matchup based. Carolina's a good matchup for QBs, so that's my QB start of the week.
Yeah.
MFB, give us your QB start of the week.
So my QB star is kind of the opposite. It's a great QB who's been pretty top this fantasy season, but he has a tough matchup, and that's Jaden Daniels versus Pittsburgh Steelers, man. We all know Pittsburgh's a solid, scary defense, but I think Jaden Daniels is going to get it done. And Washington's playing at home. Washington's also undefeated at home so far. So I think they keep that going this week.
All right. BBTV?
We'll go plain and simple. Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert turned it up. He's been doing his thing. He looks very fluid out there. He plays against a really, really weak team, which is the Tennessee Titans. I feel like he's going to be a great streaming option. Probably the best streaming option in my opinion. So I feel like Justin Herbert, if you need someone to stream, go play Justin Herbert.
No, I think Daniel Jones might be a better streaming option this week.
I don't think so, man. I think it's Justin Herbert.
We'll have to wait and see this week. Moving on to wide receivers. My wide receiver start of the week, Darnell Mooney. This is against a terrible Saints defense who just lost Marshawn Lattimore. And especially if Drake London doesn't play, I think that in this matchup, Kirk Cousins slaying it. Darnell Mooney's going to get open. He's going to get a lot of yards. I'm sure he'll get a touchdown. So if you have Darnell Mooney, start him with confidence this week.
Yep.
MFB?
I like that one. My start of the week for this week at wide receiver is Deebo Samuel. I think Niners are just in a position right now, like the division's super close. One game we're pretty much tied with the rest of the teams. And Niners got to get it going. They got C-Mac returning, and I think it really opens up things for Deebo with no Ayuk there to really pop off and do something finally.
Sounds good to me. BBTV, why don't you give us your wide receiver start of the week?
Gonna be the guy that plays along Darnell Mooney. It's gonna be Ray McCloud. If Drake London does not play, I think Ray McCloud is going to feast on that Saints defense. And yes, I am the Saints fan, and I believe that this dude will feast. Yeah.
Is there an asterisk next to that start of the week that if Drake London doesn't play? Or
Yeah.
even if Drake London plays, you're playing Ray McCloud?
If Drake London does play, he could be a deep flex option. But if Drake London doesn't play, that man's going to have a field day.
All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, the opportunity's there for him. Moving into RB starts the week at the top, Chuba Hubbard, who has been great throughout this season. Plenty of attempts. I think the least attempts he had was week 1 against the Saints, 6 attempts. Since then, 10 plus attempts a game. He's been on fire. Playing against the Giants in Munich in Germany.
Mhm.
So he should get the volume. Jonathan Brooks is back. This is probably going to be the least that Jonathan Brooks will be taking from him. So still one last really solid, serviceable game. I think he scores this game. So If you have Chuba Hubbard, fire him up.
Yeah.
MFB.
This week I got Tyrone Tracy. If you heard our midweek report episode, we discussed this a lot. Multiple factors here. Tyrone Tracy is solidified RB1 of the Giants, and Carolina allows on average 8.6 more points to RBs. So beautiful matchup, explosive running back. It's just two sides of the equation that you got. Should be a boom game for him.
Yeah, that man should easily go crazy.
Yeah, Carolina is the number one matchup for running back, so I see that happening. BBTV.
My start of the week is some guy that I have completely faded, completely not a fan of to start the season, but he's been proving me wrong the past couple weeks. I'm gonna go with Ramondre Stevenson. Dude, he's getting the touches, getting the carries. You know, the offense is pushing the ball down the field a little bit, and if they're within the red zone, within the goal line, they're just giving it to him and just scoring a tutty. So I think Ramondre will be a great start this week. I know they play a good Chicago passing defense, but I think he can like do damage on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, the only issue I have with him is he's got a low floor. His
Yeah,
ceiling's pretty good, but his floor is also like very low.
yeah.
Very true.
Let's move on to tight ends. My tight end start of the week is Mike Gesicki. In the 4 games that T. Higgins has missed, Gesicki's averaged over 6 targets a game, coming off a 2-touchdown game, where the rookie Eric All Jr. is out for the season with an ACL tear. So he's getting all the tight end targets plus extra targets because T. Higgins is not there. So I think he's a good start. Thursday night matchup. Play him with confidence.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
MFB.
This week I got TJ Hockey, man. He made his return last week. Limited snaps. Had a little bit of production. They play the Jags, bro. Jags suck. They get thrown on. And
Yeah.
Hockey might be eating this week.
I'm just worried about the other tight end, number 84, Oliver. He's been seeing some volume, seeing a little bit of touches. So
He got a
Yeah, but
touchdown
I
last
think
week,
that's
right?
only happened because they had Hockey on a snap count.
okay,
Like in a full healthy Hawk game, that's not Josh Oliver getting the tud. That's Hawkinson getting the tud.
okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No, I mean, it sounds good, and we hope to see it. BBTV, your tight end start of the week.
yeah, told you guys to start him last week. I'm telling you, start him this week. Might be an obvious start, but I'm gonna go K-Dot again. What you call it? Tampa Bay plays San Francisco, so San Francisco does have a good D, but I still see Otten.
Pause.
I still see Otten eating, doing his thing, so definitely should hit over his projection. So you definitely start him.
Yeah, K-Dot 10 plus targets since, the injuries to Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. So
Yeah, 3 weeks in a row, 10 plus targets. It's crazy.
yeah, he's been on a heater. So
Mhm.
every week, start of the week, K-Dot. Bonus start of the week, I'm going with Brian Thomas with Christian Kirk gone. He was not there last game. They played the Philadelphia Eagles, who have been better on defense. So he didn't perform that well in that game, but the targets just have to come his way. And so, like last game, he didn't do so well. This game, I expect him to do a little bit better. We hope to see it. They play against, he was limited on Wednesday, but they play against Minnesota. I expect him to just be more productive in this game than last game. MFB, what's your start of the week? Your bonus?
This is might low-key be a crazy one. I got Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle comeback game loading, bruh. Against the Rams on Monday Night Football.
That's a crazy one. That's a crazy.
It's not crazy that you're calling it out. What's crazy is that like it's a Monday night game. So if you're waiting for your player to get you the points Monday night, you're probably going to be stressing hard.
100%.
Yeah.
So
And then
it's a
Waddle also
stressful
plays
play.
the position that Njigba was playing last week, and Njigba exposed the Rams defense. So that now I'm looking at it that that might be a good take actually.
Oh, now we got on the same page. Huh?
I'm not saying
Okay.
I'm not
My
saying it's a
fault.
bad take. No, I like it. I just think that it's going to be so and you're for sure going to be going into that probably down some points, and you're like, bro, I need him to go to work for me. It's just
Yeah.
a risky play, but a good one nonetheless.
Yeah. My start of the week, I'm gonna go. Or sorry, my bonus start of the week is gonna be Wan'Dale Robinson. If you guys listened to the previous episode, please do, by the way, if you didn't. But if you did, I'm very high on the Giants. I think the Giants turn it around. Kimo has Daniel Jones as his start of the week. Someone's got to correlate. Could be neighbors, obviously, should be. But also, Wan'Dale Robinson should eat. Slayton might not play this week. He's dealing with an injury. Let me check that.
This is a pretty not
He's
hot
a-
take, but this is a tough take. I mean, if it hits, I respect it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tough take. But I think Wan'Dale Robinson is a great flex this week.
Okay.
He-
Yeah, I mean, this could also be a straight dud for you, but we'll see
It won't. It
how
won't.
it
It won't.
turns out. It won't. All right.
Yeah, like he's minimum double digits this week.
Okay. So solid
Yeah.
flex option. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think Giants passing attack can pick it up.
Yeah.
BBTV hot take that they pick it up next week, or sorry, in the future weeks. So we'll see it. See if it happens.
Yeah.
On to the sits of the week. I'm gonna take it at the top with QB Kyler Murray. Man, I think they're
You're
playing
sitting
the
your
Jets.
boy?
Look, bro,
That's
I'm a
your
Cardinals
team.
fan.
That's
I'm a
crazy.
Cardinals fan. Listen. Kyler Murray is playing against a tough Jets defense, who has been playing really well overall. He's had a lot of tough matchups the last couple weeks. The only weeks where he really has performed really well, he ended up with a lot of rushing yards. He had a good week against Miami. He did win through the air. He had 2 touchdowns passing and not that much rushing yards. But, his game against the Chargers, he had a large rush touchdown. Same with the game against the Niners. So if he doesn't break out and go and score a long rush touchdown or get a lot of rushing yards, he's kind of capped at what he can do. So if you have Kyler Murray, I would look elsewhere if you have a better option. If you don't feel comfortable with another option, good luck. But in my opinion, he's a sit this week.
You could probably stream Daniel Jones or Justin Herbert for Kyler just for this week.
Yeah. Man, that's so tough. If I have Kyler Murray,
Yeah,
Daniel
sounds
Jones,
crazy.
it
Yeah.
sounds
Crazy,
nuts,
but I
man.
feel like for this week you could possibly do it.
Kyler Murray has a low floor, man. We just saw him last week with less than 5 fantasy points against the Chicago Bears, which have been one of the toughest defenses to play against. But still, to me, if you have it in you to do it, you have the guts, go for it. MFB, your QB
All right.
sit.
I
this
called
week.
him a sit last week. I'm going to double down and call him a sit this week, bro.
That's crazy.
Baker Mayfield got to take a step down at some point, bro. And I think the Niners doing it. Like I said, Niners are in a position like they really got to win every week. It's a close race in that division. So they can't afford no loss. And I don't know, man. I just see the D kind of stepping up, and hopefully Baker doesn't really go slice and dice him. I think. Go ahead.
I was about to say the Chiefs D, in my opinion, I think is a better defense than San Francisco, and Baker put up 18 fantasy points. Now, and he's obviously doing it without Evans and Godwin. You really think he's gonna not hit his projection 15 fantasy points?
Here's my thing. I think the DCs are watching film from last week and they're like, "Hey, Look at this homie not even throwing to a receiver till the third quarter, and they're just gonna be ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
I don't know.
look for the
Technically,
mistakes. I mean, you look for the mistakes in the last game, or like that the Chiefs did on the defensive side last game, and then you try and fix that.
he's just the number 2 ranked player in fantasy right now. So
Look, he's
that's
been
the
playing well,
crazy
but
one.
but
What goes up must come down at some point, bro.
All right.
yeah, BBTV, give us your QB sit this week.
CJ Stroud, nothing new. He's trash. If you know, like simple, you probably got him in round 4. Stop playing him. Like, please stop playing him. Detroit upgraded their defense. Detroit are blowing teams out. Nico Collins is probably going to get limited snaps. Go stream other players. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Daniel Jones, Justin Herbert, definitely playing those 2 over him.
Okay, yeah, I'd look. Yeah, man, Stroud has just not been good, man.
Mhm.
With Nico back, I think you can feel more comfortable playing him, but I would look elsewhere.
Just give it a week and see how Nico looks. I just would not put my risk in that and have other options.
Okay, fair.
Mhm.
Onto the wide receiver sits of the week. My wide receiver sit is Cortland Sutton. They're playing against the Chiefs. Bo Nix has been good this season, but they're playing a tough Chiefs defense that is not allowing a lot of yards through the air against a rookie quarterback, or I should say against a rookie quarterback. Their quarterback is a rookie. So I think this is not going to be a good week for Cortland Sutton. I think you sit him this week if you have another option to switch off of or to switch to pivot to.
So you're saying McDuffie's just clamping Sutton up?
Yes.
Wow. I don't know. Double-digit targets the past 2 weeks. Probably got another when he had 0 targets versus the Saints.
I think this is another game where Sean Payton schemes something up to where they just distribute the ball. You can't just give it to your number one against the Chiefs and expect it to work. You had Baker Mayfield not throw to a receiver till the third quarter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and Sean Payton's a good coach. I think in my opinion, he's going to scheme something up and end up distributing to all his receivers.
But at the
And
same time, last week, the best so-called receiving option was Otton last week. And so he just fed Otton. So I personally think, and I think it's obvious, that the best receiving option for the Broncos is Sutton. And so I feel like Sutton could eat. I'm just saying. Not trying to.
in a divisional matchup, yeah, Sutton could have a game. But in my opinion, if you have a better option, if you have like Lad McConkey or something, maybe you start Lad McConkey over Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
That's a 50-50 for me.
All right. MFB, give us your wide receiver sit of the week.
Man, kind of on the Stroud hype, but I'm going Nico Collins.
Okay.
Assuming he even returns, he might not play. Like, they're not confirmed playing this week, but he's on track to play this week.
Right.
Kind of like BBTB said, bro. They played the Lions. Houston O-line just looks bad, and like the Lions have a chance to just kind of blow out the game by third quarter. And at that point, like, you're not playing Nico, who just came off a hammy. Probably
Yeah.
on bench him. So he has the big play potential. The Lions are just so well coached. They're playing amazing. So I don't see them like having that slip up and happen to them.
Yeah,
Okay.
like that.
I mean, yeah. If you have an alternative to Nico Collins, maybe. But if you've been without him, you've been losing games, you've been holding on to him, I don't think you have a choice. I think you slot him in and hope for the best. I think if they're getting beat out, maybe he gets a lucky long bomb touchdown or just a big play, and that could save you your week. I don't know. I think it could be serviceable, but yeah,
the thing is, he's a
you
big
make a
play
lot of good
guy,
points.
but if the O-line can't even hold up for a long play to develop anymore, like
They're gonna have
Houston
Mixon
O-line
out
is
there
bad,
blocking.
man. So,
Yeah.
No, I agree. BBTV, give us your wide receiver sit this week.
My wide receiver sit of the week. Look, I was gonna do a specific player, but I'm gonna change my player. All right, I'm gonna go with the guy I faded last week. It's Zay Flowers this week versus Cincy. Sit him.
Yeah, you told him to sit him last week, and he kind of did
Sit
his
him.
thing.
Look, it was blown coverages. One touchdown was a blown coverage. The other one, he just, Lamar just decided to throw it to him. Besides his other options, I don't think Zay, literally half of his points was that blown coverage, and just I think one more deep ball. I don't think that happens again. I have Zay as a sit with Deontay finally implemented into knowing the plays implemented in the offense. I don't think he hits his projection. His projection's at almost 12 right now. I think he goes under. That's my meaning of sit.
Do you in line with that? Do you say go trade away Zay Flowers on the high? 2 games with 15 plus fantasy points in a row. Last game almost 30 fantasy points. Would you trade him away? Would you go get D Hop for your Zay Flowers?
No, not yet. They got the little high because right now he's been producing a little bit.
Yeah, that's a perfect time to sell him. That's when you want to sell him.
Yeah, but not D Hop is just had one good game. Zay has a little bit more value than. So.
I don't
You
think
would-
might hit that trade.
Would you?
gonna be
Okay, would you
real.
go take? Would you
Just,
go trade?
sure.
Listen,
because of the consistency factor.
would you go trade for DK? Because in our other episode, you said you would take DK for D Hop. So would you trade away Zay Flowers and get DK Metcalf?
That homie paused right there.
Yeah,
but that homie's
alright.
lagging. You got the
That
homie's
goes
brain
up,
lagging, bro.
Yeah. What did I trade? Say for DK.
All right. While you think about that, let's
Probably
go
And
ahead
the
and-
not.
homie's in
Probably
concussion
not.
protocol. BBTV, what's today's date?
What
City are you in right now?
November 6th. But no, what you call it? No, I wouldn't trade Zay for DK.
I would take that kind of. I don't know, man.
Mm.
Anyways, let's
Yeah.
jump into RB sits of the week. I'll start off. All Jaguars running backs. Last week,
Simple.
you had Dearness Johnson get, I think, 25% of the snaps, and then ETN had, I think, about 30% of the snaps, and the rest of it went to Tank Bigsby. It's not a good matchup. They're playing against wait, sorry, I lost it. Pause. They're playing against
They
Minnesota.
play against Minnesota.
Mhm.
There it is. Who shut down Jonathan Taylor last week. They held him to 48 yards on 13 attempts and 11 yards through the air on 3 receptions. Work's going to be split between these 3 running backs, and it's just going to be touchdown dependent or big play dependent. So kind of boom or bust on all 3 of them. If I have to say one specifically, for sure sit ETN. That's to me, do not start ETN.
Yeah.
If you have him. It's just not a good matchup. Touchdown dependent or big play dependent. Minnesota's been very good against the run. I would not be looking to start any of these running backs on Jacksonville. MFB, go ahead and give us your running back sit of the week.
Running back sit of the week, Javonte Williams. Like we said in the midweek report episode, KC has given on average 9 points less to RBs. So that pretty much means they don't give a lot to opposing RBs. And Javonte also hasn't looked like the most explosive, so it's looking like a low week for him.
Yeah. I can definitely see that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting him in one of my leagues. I have another running back that I'm slotting in. So I'm looking to sit Javonte wherever if I can. BBTV. RV sit of the week.
RB sit of the week. Last week I had him as a start. Crushed his start. Had almost 20 fantasy points. This week I have him as a sit, and I'm going with Rico Dowdle. He plays a really good Philly defense. They played Jacksonville last week, and obviously the Jags running backs did nothing. So I have him as a hard sit, not even Like, I'd take other options over him for sure.
Can you give us an example of another option you take over? Would you take
Yeah.
Javonte against Kansas City, or would you take Rico Dowdle?
I'd take Javonte.
Okay.
I'd take Javonte. I have like Dowdle 5 to 7 fantasy points, if
Alright.
that. Yeah,
Wow.
hard set. Yeah. No Dak. CD probably not playing. Mingo got to learn the offense. Tolbert, Ferguson, sure. What are you gonna do there without Dak? And you're talking about a phenomenal Philly defense. So
Yeah, they haven't played well. Okay. This is another hot take of yours. Well, I wouldn't say it's a hot take, but you're really sitting him like 100%. All right.
100%.
Let's move into tight end sits of the week. At the top, for me, Sam Laporta. He has just not looked good. Jameson Williams, well, they just haven't really targeted him. You know, Jameson Williams is back, and Houston is the worst matchup for tight ends in fantasy. And Detroit, especially if Nico Collins doesn't play for Houston, once Detroit gets going and they score a couple times and the game's out of hand, they just start running the ball. That's it. They don't need to target anyone. They don't need to throw the ball anymore. Sam Laporta gets phased out of the offense. They don't need him. And it just becomes, less of a chance for him to produce.
And also, I think Jameson Williams comes back this week, so it could eat a little bit.
I just said that.
Oh, so sorry. I blanked. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he's back this week from the suspension. So, yeah, that means even less likely for him to get targets. So, just not a good situation for him. I would be, if you have Cade Otton, for sure start Cade Otton over Sam Laporta.
100%.
Yeah, Cade Otton's killing it. MFB, give us your tight end sit this week.
My tight end sit this week is Dalton Kincaid.
I gotta hear this.
Now Buffalo's playing Colts. Colts aren't great, but I kind of see it as one of the Buffalo games where we just see them kind of get a large lead and just run all over the team, right? And then from there, like the passing attack doesn't get a lot of value that week.
Yeah.
I think it's happened like 2 or 3 weeks now. We just see all the RBs for Buffalo just go kind of dumb, and Buffalo's up already by like 2-3 scores. They could just keep running the ball, use Ray Davis, use Ty Johnson, whatever. So
Do you
they
still
don't
feel
gotta
that
throw.
way you still feel that way if Keon Coleman doesn't go?
Yeah, I was about to say Keon Coleman's not playing.
He's got a wrist issue, could miss multiple weeks. I think Amari Cooper's limited in practice today, so he's likely going to suit up.
Yeah, I think my thing with Kincaid is he's only posted double-digit games like with a TD, right? Everything else single digit. I mean, he's a tight end, but he was drafted as like a really like top tight end option. So
yeah, top 5 or 6.
he's not like producing like that, but then again, no tight end really is right now, minus Kelsey, who saw like 14 targets. But just not crazy optimistic about Dalton this week.
No.
Yeah, because in one of my other leagues, I have TJ Hawkinson and Dalton Kincaid. And Hawkinson is your start and Kincaid is your sit. I'm gonna go with what you're saying right now. I'm gonna start Hawkinson at my tight end and I'm gonna sit Kincaid.
Look,
All right.
this is tough. I tell everyone, and I've said this before on the podcast, and sometimes I forget to say it, but if you're listening right now, if you made it this far into the episode and you're listening, I always tell people, go with your gut. So take the advice we give you and do what you want with it. But at the end of the day, go with your gut. Because if you listen to one of us and it's wrong, you're going to be kicking yourself. Oh man, I knew I should have done this. I knew I should have done that. If you do what you wanted to do and we end up being right, at the end of the day, you say, look, now I know. You learn from those mistakes versus kicking yourself like, no, I knew it. You know what I mean? So go with your gut, but do what you want with our information and make the best decision you can.
Yeah.
Give us your tight end fade, BBTB.
My tight end fade is going to be Jake Ferguson. So I have Rico Dowdle as a sit, obviously. Same thing with Jake Ferguson. Sit that man. No CD. Cooper Rush could probably throw him the ball, don't get me wrong. But
if no CD, this looks like a good opportunity for him.
yeah, you're not wrong. But how many times is the Cowboys really going to get the ball? Like,
in a
I feel
divisional
like
matchup.
I get you, but like no CD, no Dak, like potentially no CD, no Dak. If there's not going to be a run game, I don't see there being a passing game. Maybe like you're hoping like what the Jags did last week and somehow make that like blowout turn into no blowout, you know? So I don't know. I'd say Ferguson.
Okay. I don't know if I would sit Ferguson if I have him, but there are better options. If you have K. Dotton, I'd keep bringing his name up because he's an auto start for me every week. It's like, if you have him, like, you start him every week over any of these guys. Would you start Kincaid or Ferguson?
I would go Kincaid because of the upside that he has and with Keon Coleman not being in the line.
Sam Laporta or Jake Ferguson?
I'm going Laporta.
I would go Ferguson.
I'm going Laporta.
All right. Bonus fade or not fade, sorry. Bonus sit of the week at the top. Michael Pittman for me. He's averaging 5 targets over the last 4 games. And that's with a mix of Anthony Richardson, Joe Flacco now. And has been dealing with a back issue and apparently now a dislocated finger. They dislocated in the last game. I forgot when in the game, but apparently his finger's fine, but still he's not doing enough. His back is definitely still bothering him. He's not able to do enough for me. And then I don't think he's going to be bouncing back, especially against this Bills defense. It's just not a good matchup for him. Bad matchup, hitting with issues like injury, and Josh Downs is a better wide receiver in that offense. So I just think this is not a week to play Mike Pittman.
Yeah. What you got? Kimo, I was about to say, Kimo, me and MFB, we got some crazy bonuses of the week. Can you find a crazy bonus of the week? Because like Pittman might be an obvious kind of sit because he hasn't been producing the
He
past
ain't
4
that
5
crazy
weeks.
of a dude, bro. Like, you
That's
know
what I'm saying. Like me and MFB got crazy dudes. We need you to get a crazy dude for a sit. We need to call a shot, like one crazy shot.
It's okay. It's okay. Let him balance it out, bro.
If you want a crazy,
Homie talk about sit of the week. He not even on my bench of the week, bro. He on the waivers of the week.
That's what I'm saying. Like Kimo, try to find like maybe a homie that you could possibly.
The one that I didn't want to say, but I wanted to say, was sit Devontae Adams this week against the Cardinals. Don't play him.
Damn. Okay, I like that. I mean,
if you want a surprising take,
if you
want a surprising take, sit Devontae Adams this week.
All right, yeah. There it is.
Cardinals. That's my bonus +1. Like
there it is. I like that.
Michael Pittman's my sit of the week. Anyways, MLB, give us your sit of the week.
My sit of the week, I got another crazy one for y'all. All right.
Mm-hmm.
If he goes this week, I'm calling CeeDee Lamb a sit this week.
Crazy.
Eagles divisional game. Eagles are on straight fire. They know Dallas is hurting. They're going to destroy Cooper Rush. And I don't know, even if CeeDee gets volume, it won't be a lot. Another single-digit CeeDee performance, bro. You heard it here first.
I like that.
That's crazy.
Basically, bro, sit the whole Cowboys offense, bro. Like, long story short, I see it. I got Dowdle Ferguson. He's got CeeDee. Sit him. Ain't doing nothing.
I think CeeDee's going to surprise, but that's me.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not a bad take though. Backup quarterback, divisional game. Eagles are playing with their minds. So yeah. Baby TB, give us your bonus sit this week.
All right. MLB has been talking about this guy should come back down to earth, and this man has not came back down to earth. Still getting the volume, still getting the touches. But this is the week he comes right back down to earth. I'm going with Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is not rushing for over 100 yards. I don't think he's getting a touchdown. I feel like this man is going to have a very low, 10, 11 point kind of performance, which is still decent. Don't get me wrong, but out of what Joe Mixon's been producing, it's not. Yeah.
Do you look to this is his toughest matchup this year? So he missed the game against Minnesota, but this will be his toughest matchup.
Yeah, he plays Detroit. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah. Do you trade away Joe Mixon? He plays Kansas City and Baltimore last 2 weeks of the season. So in the playoffs, it's not a good matchup for him. And they have a bye week 14. Do you sell him now on the high that he's getting all the volumes, getting all the work? He's the only running back there. Do you try and get rid of him and ship him off? Or do you just hope he continues? I mean, he will have good games, Dallas, Tennessee, Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, do you try and sell him? It would now be his highest value before this game. And with the trade deadline coming up in most leagues, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably trade him. If you need depth, go get a 2-for-1, like a decent 2-for-1.
Yeah. Or a 1-for-1 if you can get the
I was
value
going to
that
say
he
like
has
a
now
1-for-1, like if you could somehow go get, I don't know if you can go get, but like a Jamar Chase for
Oh,
Mixon.
that's a bit out there.
And then I'm
Yeah.
just saying though, I mean, look at the numbers he's been producing the past 4 weeks though. Look at the volume
you-
he's been getting.
If you can swing it, I say swing it now before this game against Detroit. Especially
Yeah.
with the
Who
matchups
else?
he has in
Who
the
else I see?
fantasy finals, and with the trade deadline coming up in most leagues.
Would
now
you do
Detroit's chance.
would you do Mixon for Neighbors?
I would probably take Neighbors
Neighbors, right?
for Mixon. I might take that.
What about you?
If I have the running back depth, yes, I would take it.
Trade Mixon away for Neighbors?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
If I have the RB depth, if I'm going to be hurting at RB, like I have no one to start, nah, you have to have someone.
Yeah, I would agree. It depends on the team composition.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah. All right. That'll do it for the starts and sits episode. Hopefully we help you guys, make your minds for who you want to start, you want to sit this week. We'll see you guys on the next episode where we do the studs and duds for week 10. Yeah, tune into the next episode, guys. Join the Discord. We bring it up every time. Join the Discord. It'll be in the description. Ask us questions. Who do I start? Who do I sit? And we'll tell you, to the best of our knowledge. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.